What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more ABBA. And indeed, we will continue with the ABBA Live at Wembley Arena Double Dish. Shout out to Michaela for sending this. Next time, but first, we're actually going to listen to a pair of tracks that were recorded outside of any of their releases. I wanted to give a big shout out both to Gerry and Sean, both of whom found my ABBA Deep Dive more recently and contacted me in the last week or two, not only to say thank you for doing the journey in the first place, but both had comments about music a bit outside the regular ABBA catalog, and Sean had talked about the Chess soundtrack, which a few people had mentioned before, and I'd like to get to that eventually. But more immediately, I did receive from Gerry a couple tunes that were recorded by ABBA as special tributes to people for birthdays, one from 1979, one from 1981. So we're going to listen to those both now, and then as I said, next time we come back to ABBA, we'll get back to the Live at Wembley disc. So the first one of these is from 1979, and it looks like the title Sång till Görel. It's like with a G, but I think that's Görel, right? But I don't think Sång is correct, because there's a circle, that little circular accent over the A, and I don't know how that changes the vowel sound of A. But I doubt that it's actually Sång. But it looks like Sång till Görel, so I assume, based on what Gerry said, that this is a birthday tribute to this individual who I guess worked at Polar Studios. I guess they were an executive at Polar Studios where ABBA recorded a lot of their music, so pretty nice if you can get a direct birthday song straight from ABBA. So let's hear it. This is from 1979, Sång till Görel, and it was recorded for the birthday of an executive, a female executive at ABBA's Polar Music Studios.
Från Skultorp Görel seglade till Sweden och Polar. Hon kom, hon såg som seglade, och därför är hon kvar. Nu sitter hon som direktör på Stickans stora tröst. Där ska hon sitta tills hon dör och höra Stickans röst.
Jag klarar inget utan dig.
Var är Görel, säg var är Görel, hej.
Kan någon svara mig? Det svåraste, det klarar hon. En stjärna har vi fått. Och ringer du så svarar hon att this is Swedens ort. Agneta, Frida, allihop och Björn och Benny med. De stressar henne med små rop. Jag gör inte det.
Var är Görel, säg var är Görel, hej. Vi klarar inget utan dig. Var är Görel, säg var är Görel, hej. Kan någon svara mig?
I sommarnattens skeende, i höstens regn och din. Hon talar alltid leende med sina lives musik. De ringer från Brasilien, från Japan och Irak, och håller samma stillinjen och frågar samma sak.
Var är Görel, säg var är Görel, hej. Vi klarar inget utan dig. Var är Görel, säg var är Görel, hej. Kan någon svara mig? Ja, överallt är Görel med och kollar vad som sker. Hon har sin lilla hand i det och mycket, mycket mer. Och nu så är det klarar inget utan dig. Var är Görel, säg var är Görel dig? Kan någon svara mig? Var är Görel, säg var är Görel dig? Vi klarar inget utan dig. Var är Görel, säg var är Görel dig? Kan någon svara mig?
Very fun. It definitely sounds like a tune that's recorded for a live event, a bit light and not silly necessarily, but certainly not a tune that I would think would be designed for the radio, but designed to be performed at a party. So yes, very much what I would expect knowing the bit of context I had about it. And it did seem to have a lot of, let's say, non-standard instruments, meaning I think I heard an organ there, I think I heard maybe a mandolin, perhaps there was a bit of an accordion in there, it sounded like it was softly in the background. There was a big, like, church-style bell at one point. We definitely heard more of the boys on this one than most ABBA songs. Most ABBA songs are led, if not entirely, sung by the ladies, so hearing more of the boys was very interesting. And yeah, again, it sounds like they were having fun with it in the actual performance of it, and it seems a bit cheeky. There was that line, I don't know if that was, I assume that's Bjorn singing, or maybe it was Benny, I'm not sure. But there was that line where it was like in true voice, and then for one line, it switched over to like a filtered, almost like, you know, it's coming through like one of those loud, like we call them bullhorns here in the US. I don't know what they're actually called, but those like megaphones that you hold, it sounded like it got a very filtered effect for one of the lines. So definitely seemed to be a bit cheeky at the same time. So yeah, a bit of fun is what it sounded like. Now the second one we're going to hear here is from 1981. It looks like Hovas Vittne. I don't know if that's how you say it, but apparently it was written for Stig's Stig as 50th birthday, and lyrics are all again by ABBA, and apparently the sound engineer and their album sleeve designer. Okay, so apparently these were all friends of Stig, so it was all full of humor and attested to Stig's personality, is the note that Gerry gave us. So, with no further ado, let's hear it. This is Hovas Vittne by ABBA from 1981.
Från Hova kom det en bonde, det svängde om. Släpa och slet och snodde, och sen så småningom på dur och moll blev han rikare än ett troll. Nu är hans dagar fyllda utav tunga beslut. Brukar ska ut, backen ska saltas, korven ska kokas, slukar ska ut. Hovas Vittne, knallarnas röst, Västergötlands stämma på jorden. Sångar, hjärtat klappar i ditt bröst, pennan glöder upp, flyga orden. Raska klackar, så är nu som ett gäng du. Hovas Vittne ger aldrig upp, Hovas Vittne, full fart framåt, flaggan i topp. Hos dig på fest, när man sitter och trivs som mest, hör man någonting som surrar, din dammsugare protest. Från din parnass tar du flyget i första klass. Djurgården har en rulla om du kommer fram. Enligt program, enligt bagage i Rom och Gudrun i Amsterdam. Hovas Vittne, knallarnas röst, Västergötlands stämma på jorden. Sångar, hjärtat klappar i ditt bröst, pennan glöder upp, flyga orden. Raska klackar, slå är du som ett gäng, hur är du? Vi och du i långhalt på ler, full fart bakåt. Hovas Vittne var som en skedstickan, det är befogat denna gång. Trots att du tycker att låten blir för lång. Stickan, det har vi skrivit i den tron att du blir glad om vi höjer
apparently not Hovas. But yeah, that one sounded slightly more normal ABBA in terms of it sounded a bit less light and almost the first one, the Görel song, sounded almost like a carnival a bit, especially during the organ sections. This had that little flute riff that kept that ascending flute riff, and the sort of complicated rhythm of the lyrical delivery and that double percussion hit. Again, it sounded like something that I wouldn't be surprised to hear in a regular, like, ABBA studio album song. So this one sounded maybe a bit more within their sonic lane and a bit less like them having fun at a party, but it still did sound very light and enthusiastic and fun. And yeah, with the women only on this one, maybe that's also partly why vocally it sounded more like a typical ABBA track. Not to say that any ABBA track is typical. Over the course of their albums, I definitely heard a great variety of sonics, but yeah, like if I heard that, I would say, oh, was that like a B-side for, one of their singles that I never knew about? Whereas if I heard that first one, I'd be like, wow, did they record this for like a live event or something? So, yeah, and Stig, I believe, not Stig, so I did hear that name in there. And that reminds me, in the Görel track, we definitely heard him saying that, like Frida and Benny and Bjorn, like I definitely heard the names. So yeah, it seems like it's a very, group of people who all know each other, and ABBA paying tribute to people they work with, people they're around all the time. So definitely cool to hear both of those. Wanted to give a shout out not only to Gerry and again to Sean, who also had reached out recently, but all the people who followed the ABBA deep dive during its most active phase, shall we say, all the people who shared the ABBA music, Adam most notably with all the albums, Delia stepping in with some of the non-album tracks, Michaela for sending the double live CD, which again I still have to go through the majority of, so yeah, still some more ABBA to go, but shout out to people who've been here, and to Eduardo, of course, who was sort of cataloging the journey at every stage along the way. So you are all very appreciated. Let me know what you think of this, and I will see you next time. Peace.